Also politicians anymore ever form. They say aka judges no. Mudi Jimmy say ya, Jimmy say ya, boss say citizens need pay attention. Now when I'm so a judge no. When I'm so we nyame nsia ne mo afei na nipa na edwene to no mo dwene afo boss be dum rebi no judge no ono no mudi na tem boss o mudi judge statem sa na beba so on your society no obitimi ko school ha na dan ni Jimmy boss say o ye judge o no odi sa no odi Jimmy etu boss judicial system na aye last hope no na be dan ya Jimmy for because onim so omu Jimmy omu krofo ne nkasa when they are fooling destroying the system they don't talk because it seems some politicians now when say, oh, yeah, what, yeah, so when you judge, or by or job can be obeti, no, what take any pan found with so. So, no, what take any pan found, all because of say, we all respect the court to say, under the democratic dispensation, we should respect the court decisions. And you know, people are taking advantage of that nonsense. Because, Mimiti, I say, now to my customer also, who alleges must prove it. What about court no be for evidence in the bra will say unya hwe enyam kwasasem na judgment onum nyansa obeso kwasasem we so any money for the bail or you ready no what the evidence na buy and so Ghana nkoana obetimi anya a whole judge wako school and now what with experience na san kwasasem say no ojeje so this are foolishness as you can no kire omu ya nipa omewu yeso ebewu obi ansoro omu tie ka no eye the people ntina wo ye judge. It is by the people, and you are there for the people. That's the government. Sanko nkurasem no, womo de sanka krakasa no omu gu judicial service nanimu ase. Ya wa justice system no omu gu nanimu ase. Judge ba ku mieru bi nkwasi atem no nani brenti no omu gu system nanimu ase. O go kan say, hey, what can say here, my lord? Useless people. When they are destroying the system, you can't talk about it. All because they say we will respect the court. It will be dim kwasi asem. Judges now to now son kwasi asem so. Judge, who you judge? Must you support foolishness or because of politics? Cross for Krobeni. A crow cag, just how you want to say. A crobin and Cosia phone corner go cronade. What do you want to say? Cosia some corner within the cronade. What is that? Why? Eltai, Otunim. See, a man in would say, because of our bronyo, me now bronyas nieka. Tie, a quine on the fason, a chinabet me about also, tie the ecanon. Adia no mu ye na etai adia na NDC person wo de court no ye no judges ni should rise up o enye sa said you be see atoto ama ne wo no mu nya ni ji o judges ni should wake up judicial system no should wake up o because they are using them amomo be omani mo nyoma abesai because onim o tena se na wo hwe adia ne judge na okotena wo ye no I mean questionable very questionable very terrible for a judge to go to this way. Say misdemeanor say we obi akasema to obi so eno no na judge obi wa mani pana ko oba ya stop prosecutor na ntimi amfa na evidence aba na judge timi to say masa remand nipa no. I mean that's nonsense. It's terrible. And yet hon kakra sa o de yet hon because they say the amo can say no man is bigger than the law. So in this case eye denti na da bia no so be IGP dia as a young protector no na say yeba say mran kwa yem protect obi ni emotions di Ghana no ndi omoye omutimi protect obi emotions say o sikani say o kuta position it was say oni obi o sika na obi o tumi yade a they protect the interests of the person na oye big no omo wi no masa beka oh no one is above the law nkwasi akasa in Ghana someone is above the law. Diamu ye judges ye catch them sankwasi abrof munya aka oyentie bio say somebody is above the law it is a emra no obia ehu ba bi ode mra de ode beye obia say he officer asam no court na judges no enam so obia bigger than the law no fa ho adwen say ne nipa no bedu court no wadi ka ja no kwan no waye no tie de ye ka no because nipa na court no wo mutie nipa emotions. They don't use the law. They listen to the emotions of Senipania big man. So they can use the money and power control the law. And the people need not to stop listen to that nonsense. Oko Nepal on say oyele ni si no. Or politician obi adwane, judge bi adwane. On say judge bi ani ho. Wo de transmatri nya ode. Un say omofa Ghana for say omo ye timid one day they will vote. Once I call the pastor, see a crony the young people take over. No judge, no court, Obia to them. I want to bounce say what Jimmy, enkola no be sorry atinte sukọ kwa kyerɛ so de mo ye wɔ Africa no ho enkakran sa no mo ani mo nyam nyina bɛba fam na wo ye judge a ɛhɔ na wobɛhu sɛ ebra ne ye tumi no ne ye di tumi ne di nkwasiasɛm tia the people ɛna wɔn hu sɛ ade a ye die see first na unsa ene nkoda no we don't need to come to the law school ye train internet so then we are studying adwuma na wo ye adwuma na wo ye na se a lot of people who are we judge no e man nyo so nkwa na adwuma no te ase o hwe wo ye say a big mistake because only and now your social media ye hwe cases e koso around the world judge for na adwuma the requirements bibia wo ye bia ye nim and chance we ye nyansafo e ma judge bia adwenya ne say we people see say we ye nyansafo che obia no way it is your duty and your job and chiro say judge we ye nyansani chime never anya no krada it's only a fool and abadwin say bia judge bia nyansani che no eye na adwuma no ye na adwuma mu no and apart from that and just we ye nyansani chime because bia de me no so ntimi nye so point ne say Ghana for first na bebre ne yete bon koso omo ye backward enti wo mu judge akakraka we don't feel said ade bi na wa hwe adwuma bedu cry judge domahini judge can you imagine this wo de hwe the level of disgrace adwuma bedu as a judge what the whole justice system enti obi tie chi no hwe adwuma bedu ne na went to judge no okay enti be kakra no who you judge people don't respect you anymore. They don't regard you. They see you say, what the court now would you embrace nipa. Eti say a brand new doa wono so almost as so take over country no who judge ye hunu bi o wo bedwane wono yire nyam bedwane sanete eti media me ka sam na ma kire ma to sa ne beye eno aso ne besie ewi asesa ne te so sisi nipa ne cha sa na eba so now yanko yanim eti enei abronye wo mo se de o ma remind no na wo de hwade wo de hwehwehwe ne mu pa wo de hwade
ne koso Shamas na ebo bind the bill ebo record we did there hana a contempt of court here na so this is for the swa ebo bind anya some
enti obia hu oman ni say ya osa na nkofo etu omo ye omodwene pa obia hu oman ni say na yeti kro ekro be no we omo ye hemfo no say okobusa case na say wadidi IGP atem nya police force ano wadidi IGP atewe we show you at the parliament de hwade na yasesa kasa kese o de say ade akoa bia ye friend abronye hwade
Kabusian say America say no reinforcement by foreign police units FPU4 one more shame ntum na ba ayura court premises hano na uye no eto nchen aposifo ne de otwe honwi bebre bebia obetu wani bia hu se armed policeman agina ho every entrance wa befa Black Maria yi ho ekwa akire ho national security for our mushe mask ewo ho sanso na ekwa kudu akire hanso no ohia posifo no na ebo ban wo ho anya asem keto akos hade make say no aye black colors no posifo atade nko na wuhu na sentrofo enso ewa
right enti sa hwehwe anim wei oma bia amunim nyansa no mo nsoso so oma bia amunim nyansa no omo nsoso sa nkwase asem se so emwa we ensolve o man problem we ensolve Ghana problem you are just rather deeping I mean the adwenya ye wo aban no police for ho mo shemu kina the disgrace for the IGP because unim akawmre kakrebo ko retirement it will be abon say e saboni se na utwato ho and now politicians use war because nyansanim say wo say obi adidi IGP atawatwa trato no so eti yan shown where the power lines and ade we no politicians and ye wosa nyansam we police ni bia no nim nyansa obey san kwase asem sei eye wo mo a aban ni show mo chie e no mo di san kwase asem no te what you say nya ensolve Ghana problem o na sese ye ka ne sa de a ene na John Mahama wo asem bo no po fi say Jack sa ebi a culture of silence no person wo ye no Jack we emfa o emfa da bi say Mahama say wo de ye ntia asem o kan ye say wo se de say we da bi wo de ntia Mahama no
Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media.
Okay. Say, yepe obia o incite a hate speech tribal war is John Mahama. Uni bidentia. Say yepe obia o timi incite tribal war, tribal violence. John Mahama. You know why? Papa we opposition no. Papa we John Mahama. O opposition no. Hwedian o de frɛ Akufo-Addo. Pa John Mahama. This is John Mahama. This penny toto say yo penny ti bonkoso or penny among politics inti on what traffic man koda wi nanka penny toto say etimi frɛ a whole tribe so Akyem for say Akyem Sakawa tiani yo Akyem Sakawa boys Akyem mafia this is openi yo or penny toto our political power and today John Mahama say wono ka kyerɛ Ghana for say bibi incite tribal hey Edia pa ne says today metie na makotu ebi Mahama esremfo ni abusuafo ni bi na me di wo mudin ayade bi etse de Mahama yi mpacho senye akanfo na ya achemfo no na empe problema enka ntokwa udeti o senye akanfo a wo mu achem enempe problema enka ntokwa ma kentokwa bi saka asem we yesrem sebia kusasi ni eno kan we kire ayini Mamprusini ana ayi gonja eno mu kan we describe enkeja dem wo srem ho enkeja dem I'm telling you enkeja dem so and Jomama and kan sa asem we yo hwe eno kan asem we and today Jomama say you free be hate speech. This is hate speech against a group of people. Jomama na chawe yo etina maka just say enemre so no Jack your information we are dealing with AI. We are dealing with information what also answer Mahama wadopa na dead no. Wadopa na dead no. Eti say ye pobia or inciting nipa against each other. John Mahama. On ye see boni di eti say nidia Ghana for ye de friend ni. Mahama say obi di Akyem mafia one so your friend say Boli Idi Amin. Yes, Boli Idi Amin. Say ni di amafan friend no your friend Boli Idi Amin or better friend Gonja Mafia tieni yo Gonja Mafia so say once we train here we are all learning from Mahama say me go to me court to me do an maka judge and say Mahama ne training me obusa sa dance here we ya eni hwe adanse ni say no ya hunu say modern mara ne ebesisi enti de ye bibia the evidence ye de enti a wo de Mahama de me court to a me meka judge ne say me sua free Mahama ho o say obi Akufo-Addo or day because of Japan your friend Akyem mafia against a group of people eti today Mahama edia ye dia maneni your friend Boli Idi Amin the Nebuchadnezzar of our time Gonja mafia Boli Idi Amin no was your friend Nana Kankabi say Mahama edia me dia man your friend Nana Kankabi because or say only the obetimi akambi ba mama mi nkabi ono Gonja mafia no Boli Idi Amin your friend was your friend Nana Kankabi ono waka men nkabi eti was the National Security Intelligence Bureau no a ya say yemfam enya adwuma ebetimi aboa Ghana no or the baba persecute Ghana for such a useless government abaifo kan abaitan tai abaifo say such a useless government corrupt family and friends abai way wo se umobi nkabi na Mahama de ye po bi oni animonyam se ono be ka Ghana fo asema eye jo Mahama etu po bi a obu abusua bi animtia ono ye tani firisrem etimi ka kira achemfo ase achem mafia na wo mimi fra boli idia me a wo bedwa wo ya ndi sini akokotu Mahama fo one na yere lodina go and advise them boli mafia to the sense say se am no kasa no o ka kire so be solve galamsey o tata Akufo-Addo left and right today galamsey no aye west o say ono kra no oni tumi bia so be stop galamsey such a useless government irresponsible government corrupt scam 419 government aban fontan time wo say ye koka wo the state institutions ebe persecute am for on ene momra momachi anyina mfa nkogum momachi anyina mfa gogum Adam Mahama no fi say wono moja wono mu cha Akufo-Addo otimi ka asam no hye Akufo-Addo ama in fact chebi krom ye demonstration tia no and I'll drop all the evidence to you Adam Mahama no wono tani no wono ewo moja chen atim ni ana Mahama tani no wono wo emoja wono mu cha atimfo such nonsense ni yete woni ye chiche so incredible politics because so open to me etimi free group say omo ye atim mafia state capture enu na yete ye be ka kire mo say omo ka kire say nkofobia state capture omo wi omo anisika ye nim say komba ye no a ko oche wo magum wo je sika man enu na video de ba bonten some social media for sort ye I say ade no you know basa obi wo kra ni me negotiate because bi wa de ko tuma nkosi hwe we ye catch ye Mahama ye kana sam kire na muantie now say ye po bi a wotumi tietia busua bi anim create tribal violence eye John Mahama afa yentie me de wo kire me kire wade we ye Akufo-Addo John Mahama ka se mo Akufo-Addo fra asofo edi to manim say mo asofo a moti kro mu say ye me Akufo-Addo ena me koka se Mahama ye gonja mafia enka sabrei enka jadem enso Mahama ka kire me yusu say achim Sakawa boys achim mafia monka ho hwe abusia mum yentie Akufo-Addo a response or the catch asofo
people would comment on that. The comment made by my opponent, Akyems Sakawa people. I've not heard any public figure in this country, independent, yourselves or anybody, comment on it. It's completely unacceptable. If I was to get up to make a comment about Northerners or Gonchas, you can imagine the uproar that would be in the country.
Pacho, South India Akufo-Addo kan no. Ote wo say, sanko no Akufo-Addo ena okoka asasem we di fa Mahama kuromfo a anka you see the besi wa Ghana. Sama ka kira akanfo de sama maka kira mo yentie bio yentantaki ni bio de yentie bio.
The comment made by my opponent, Akyems Sakawa people. I've not heard any public figure in this country, independent, yourselves or anybody, comment on it. It's completely unacceptable. If I was to get up to make a comment about Northerners or Gonchas, you can imagine the uproar that would be in the country. Presidential candidate, a former president of Ghana, you can call a group of Ghanaians Sakawa people, and it involves the group for which the sitting president comes, and that comment goes without, that statement goes without comment. And at the same time, we hear these statements. Let's all try and bring the politics of insults to an end, etc., etc. Occasions are given where specific comments can be made. Nothing happens. And then it's lost. It's lost in the generalities. We need to focus on this matter in an even-handed way.
Okay, Nana Dujinaho. Yeah, the video, maybe the video ni di me nkomo. Patroti de Akufo-Addo kan no. Oka kira sofo no say eye me na do am ya kan ni na mko kan we fight esiremuni ho a can you hear the sound? Oto wo mo sori a akanfo ne tribalist maka kira say ope obi a omo ye tribal eye sankrofo na preach it so obi ye tribalist na. And one example is John Dramani Ma ye tribalistic bigot. John Mahama a tribal bigotry and onuntina and tokon pesremu da no. See, o pesrem for the bio esrem for ntafo no bebre civilized. Most of ntafo no bebre civilized. Na o pentafo anya civilized na dodo na wendi sim. na de entia ntokwa mpesrem no dodo no ye entafo a wandi sim ebi te sa John Mahama tie de meka no me say open tafo a wandi sim a omu epen ntokwa ntia ntokwa ntwasrem da a besi ne of old long time yentimi solve trem stock a Mahama tie de meka no unim sa asem o ka kire Kufuado no say Kufuado komu yesremfo a komu de bebom ka be dane ntokwa wesrem sese but unim Kufuado no ye very intelligent and we akani unsa kanfo no ye kontokwa nyansa wom ye nyentokwa bia ne soso nti onso kan yemfi onso manfi no senka ye Mahama ka kire ni kurom ni a we yesrem ni a kentokwa dem kom ni kuromfo no be kontokwa we kire ho senka gonjam Idi Amin John Mahama bole Idi Amin senka wono ne ka o ka asem we kire obi o yesrem ni a enkantokwa beto entokwa beba onsa Ghana ntokwa menye fra asantefo ene akanfo ntia. The reason why Ghana yenya civil war because of our confrontia. Because we think ahead. And sometimes we'll be. But when these people like John Mahama, when they are doing foolishness, they don't think. Ebra no power or Sheki, Jimmy, and this for the power. Such useless and only pay power. Now, Unim, Mahama no cast as him. Unim say, maybe the evidence, Mahama ni page ni on a cancer so ni screenshot to the two that me asem we net da da any the two na nim sabre na me yel me the two he all children was say Akyems Sakawa boys now me be chiro video Mahama say ono wanhwe ono kra wanhwe me chiro de ntia Mahama onye obi o wani monyam John Mahama say asem na Kufuado wo ka no ono yebusa no say me de me manhwe o awurade panintoto panintoto a wo petumi politics aburo na dwen say papa panimu asabe ne hwa so nwi Mahama ne hwa kase mienu etimi ka kire Ghana for say o post sa de no wono adongo ne kan tina wono wanhwe mpacho media evidence le case mo ho yenkotie John Mahama na muntie say o pani patimi kasa sei pani a wotena fie man kodare nanka yebu nankare fo oka ho such a useless political leader, useless incompetent leader etimi refer so tribal war ono timi edidi tribe bi atem ye afa edudi ade an say on kan sa na wanhwe won de ohun ya no post ye akwa we ye John me pa jamu nti asay.
I didn't say anybody is Akyems Sakawa. I just reposted. I read a statement by Azorka. Right. He made very good arguments, and actually my mind was on the body of the arguments he made, and so I reposted what he. So you didn't see Akyems Sakawa and all that. It didn't come to me as anything that I thought about. I saw his post. I just.
Me pacho, I was here. Who you? Where your president today? Where your president? Me akodai. Me nkoya de na ye bebusa me beka say me dey just man hwe say ya twere say Akyems Sakawa ba wonim we wono an page ni hwe me chiro de ntia me na me expose Mahama cho say oye obi onka no hwe obo wo apart from so o share page no ono an sa twere we ni page ni John Mahama page ni obo wono an twere we you was say Ejapa royalties fraud is a last straw. The Akyems Sakawa boys and grandpas to their from nyina so mo nananom must go. A Japan royalty deal is a big fraud on Ghana by President Kufuado and his Akyems mafia. Mahama ne kire you. Okay. And today, media for no share na me ntina me untimi enya interview. Oko twatron was say, ono de no onim kra say there's a word bi mu Akyems mafia. Ti ha say, momientie ne bi o. Such a useless political figure. Ti bi o.
I didn't say anybody is Akyems Sakawa. I just reposted. I read a statement by Azorka. Right. He made very good arguments, and actually my mind was on the body of the arguments he made, and so I reposted what he. So you didn't see Akyems Sakawa and all that. It didn't come to me as anything that I thought about. I saw his post. I just reposted it because the arguments he made there, for me, was the arguments he made there that were very cogent, and that's why I reposted it. But I don't want to defend that issue or go into a debate about it.
Okay. Eti we and this nia when you wani nwi mu John Mahama. Nti sanya santefo ne akanfo na mpentokwa. Asem we seke sisire mu a enkentokwa ma. O de akanokwa we and this ni tell me the truth. Se Mahama nkyere mu we a wode ba yi. Ai obi anu so twatro entokwa masirim. Kasam ne mukum ho te sem preku. Mukum se mmoa. aka ne kuro mo sam ne kanipa wu so ansa Akufo-Addo amfi no ansa wamfi ansa Akufo-Addo amfi no ansa akanfo ye nti ntokwansi Ghana da wo de wo yesrem ni tell me the truth, don't lie. Senya akanfo a nka Ghana nka abo, because send this for pesika aduane ani to me a they do every foolish thing for power. Senya Akufo-Addo ye intelligent person and one so inciting the chrome for against esremfo a enka esremfo e wo Akyem region nyake Eastern Region mo pamo wo mo. Akufo-Addo ye intelligent person because o ya kani na esremni no and one odi ekeka nkwose asem se kire Ghana for. But evidence now we need the walk on. What is your comment? Why we in this ni? Why we not now? What is your comment? Or say a whole former president why you vice, why you president, why you minister, or say my mind I didn't see. I just posted it. Such a foolish political leaders, useless people. And they think that they can use the system to intimidate the people. Wouldn't cause the same way. Now wako genocide now we are president. Among for your free hate speech. Who now instigate here. And we shouldn't fear to tell John Mahama. Say he's the master architect of all the hate speech in the system. This guy, John Mahama, would now create a hate speech for Ghanaians by calling a family, calling them mafias. Whilst you have no evidence, today you are in power. Why don't you prosecute them? Why don't you prosecute Akufo-Addo and Akyems mafias? And you bring out or SHAMEFUL be I want way and this and what Jimmy say or be so kwase asem say so. Say Mahama where evidence ya and the power is in the hands of Mahama. He should prosecute them and let us see. For Akufo-Addo court na busuafo no jail them. Mudim kwase asem wie na ma be pretend be bully ehia forma. Na wo ye judge ya. So wo say judge for ni bi so mo ye nyansafo a no obi di nkwase asem a ene muntimi nka nokre enkyere no se Kenya Akufo-Addo a enkasa asem Mahama kan yi. Oh my God. Enu ni o a whole president why your president pay you no use abusua bi ene ode ye today yesu say Mahama me see your friend say abusua Mahama ne din de say Boli Idi Amin wo de batwi mu nana kan kabi wetimi afre no Gonja Mafia family and friends nite no opa he wo mo ya senuam Mama opa boy ya senu we don't give a damn tell ya kan yesua free ho me odi mi dru court a my lord me follow ya kra me teacher ni no me teacher ni jo Mahama won e kire ye opa evidence na me de bia kire ho Mahama de kan we uwi a na makwa Akufo-Addo me say even the president kra be comment hwe president Akufo-Addo ni mumientie ni biu evidence ni why say the evidence e adwuma otumi nya hwe.
People would comment on that. The comment made by my opponent, Akyems people. I've not heard any public figure in this country, independent, yourselves or anybody, comment on it. It's completely unacceptable. If I was to get up to make a comment about Northerners or Gonchas, you can imagine the uproar that would be in the country. Presidential candidate, a former president of Ghana, you can call a group of Ghanaians Sakawa people, and it involves the group for which the sitting president comes, and that comment goes without, that statement goes without comment. And at the same time, we hear these statements. Let's all try and bring the politics of insults to an end, etc., etc. Occasions are given where specific comments can be made. Nothing happens. And then it's lost. It's lost in the generalities. We need to focus on this matter in an even-handed way. I get the impression that because of the unfortunate, in some ways, authoritarian origins of our state in its where it was considered dangerous to criticize government, the pendulum has now swung the other way, where government is the only group you can criticize. If you criticize government, no matter what you say, is legitimate. If government was to respond, that's somehow illegitimate. Media freedom is interpreted as meaning the freedom to criticize others, but you can't criticize the press. If, for instance, they step out of bounds or they conduct themselves in an irresponsible manner.
Okay, eti evidence based no part 1 here. Eti nanado and was say asema Mahama kan ye so on ko kan yanke de asembeba. But mumiyam akamfo ne achemfo nyina aba so. In fact, that day no ukwa achimabu akwa ade e course ni hwe. Wo the protest course oh that day. Hwe protest course hwe nsema no matwere. Enough is enough. No more gutter. Reject this tribal bigots. Shameless Mahama. Hwe nsema course no e wa achimabu akwa. A massive protest e course e Eastern region because also omuye ntokwa ama sasem we si won northern region ankasamre eja dem say yesrem na obi yusu abusuya bi yes ankentokwa esi ye ne ka there's a tribal war in the northern region but as usual asantefo ne akanfo no omuye wi omamfa ntokwa ama no mfa ne normal so and today ye nya sanipa no get the audacity to come to the media to threaten the people. Say, when people do whatever DN, now who determines what a hate speech is? Who determines that? So a strategy to scare the people so that omunka namamuna sem. Mitiase nambebo tape bichirem say the NDC intent is to shut everybody's down because they think that Mahama yinipa chen obia. And these are foolishness from JJ Rawlings up to today. And today, enya dwuma wo. Sayen nananom pani from ye di ma Rawlings di nkwase asem no. Today enya dwuma. Mahama, Mahama, okra de Akufo-Addo bra wabon. Mahama unka ho. Say ye problem na ma che Akufo-Addo enya dwuma Mahama. Ba Mahama timi ye dey eridike Akufo-Addo. Jack wo ye be more 20 times because wo untimi me Akufo-Addo anything. John Mahama reputation cannot match Akufo-Addo in any second. John Mahama, okay. Eti Boli Idi Amin, a person was scared Ghanaians. Na obehuna Ghana for Obwa, Obiantimin track Obia, a bullying keke Muntienu, Obwa, a bullying, Obwa.
Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died. And dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that?
Edia so me bawo. Abuzia, edia etia so obi say o play the show na wu a memfa ho. Edia ne tia. Me busa mo musa papa no musa na maye. Edia ne tia mra be ne tia say wu ko wu a memfa ho. Menya kura wu a na moti awe onam. Emra be omunko tu mna me hwe. Senya me mo de ntia. Idi Amin, Boli Idi Amin person was scared the people. Say we played will be a say, so be she, so be no. Do I care? So me kasa me mfa ho, menya kura nanka, play no kura sa do hwa, ensa nyam enti emra be netia. Eye me madwen, emfa ho. Obwa to scare the people. Na mumusa no say, so ye penny a wodwena. Say we president. Ni pensu ye no hini bi incite tribal war. Or hini bi o me be show video natural evidence me evidence based in kwa. Mahama ye president. Ene ono ankasa nadamfo aye frɛ no Ajima Bedu esori cassette tia the whole Ashanti Kingdom mumusa so ye president we so was one no determine what a hate speeches are but so asem we eye de kasa ni monhwa de
obia ka chiro se ye betima kom konfo no te say ni ama bibi afiri so a Ajima Bedu to na go kra ya kai Sikaja go feel be yidi ba dwam no. Won hu say ba so so. Won hu say ba so so. Na so. O de anu yan panto wo. Na go kura ya kan. Sikaja go feel be yidi ba dwam no. Won hu say ba so so. Won hu say ba so so. Na so. O de anu yan panto wo.
Eti Mumusa Mahama say ye pe a hate speech a create tribal war and as a violence about country way asem we no ni nyansem we e dia dia idia boli dia mi ta wo ye pani a wo dwene kwa kire as a leader as a father e na wo pe osantehena asem na santehu na we ye nana e na santefo agije wo so amu aduru ba bia wadu no say ye kase obi indetermine a hate speech a tribal sentiments at the war bar where they are. John Mahama, we are bogus. We are disgraceful to our democracy. Also, something carry or minister was national security. None of them. And let me pass any comment say, no way, we need to cease fire. Also, government and Obama and a papa can't ask me. Papa was a judge. Also, something carry. Media mimi do what mo but unim omon be yon on be do what mo na readiem what be mo ene yenya ohini we man ka san kwase asem sei e di kire ho Ashanti Kingdom wo ba unya asem a say nana Mr. Makoka ntokwa obol boko nana koka mame utimi ka de na kire no wan ka hwe wadan furu no wan ka hwe and today what pretend? What pretend say? Won't we on? Now, some nipa way edimanim say a president. Mu nipa way edimanim say president. Do you think the country need me grow? A bad thing. A bad thing. The amount mine on. Na young one was say, Mahama, maybe almost say no or catch the Ghana for Munti.
You know, like I always say, Ghanaians have short memory. You can lie to them today, and by tomorrow, they will forget. Let us finish hard. Keep lying to them. You know, like I always say, Ghanaians have short memory. You can lie to them today, and by tomorrow, they will forget. Let us finish hard. Keep lying to them.
Mr. President, Oni any enmonyam bia. Oni any enmonyam. So no betimi asolve Ghana problem. John Mahama ni oni enmonyam bia. Because was study Ghanaians. And who say enipa bebre was short memory. It was the margin 80 agro. Or the margin 80 agro. Na se Mahama peniya and ko be kan credit a Ghana for. But was study who say agro ye ni so. Was study Ghana for who say, oh, you obeka bia ye de akire. Anu tina da bia no, o kan tokwa de ma wo mu. Tina da bia o kan tokwa e de masremfo na yete ho, na ya gege ne so. Na ayi IGP no wai, mo hwe no, o course re mo hwe ade. Obi o so o no e ya IGP ade. Eti IGP also ya IGP utimi ko ba bi me attack fan eno de anya asem kase ma wo nwani nguda obi a also ya IGP o utimi ko ba bi na ye chesiw na ya attack fan eno de anya asem kase ma wo ya ma we yankasa on muntie we so.
Recommendation comes from the Chief Justice to the President, and even the issue of capping the number of judges. The Constitutional Review Committee recommended that we cap Supreme Court judges at 15. And so the issue of capping the Supreme Court is not for the Chief Justice to say. We will resurrect the constitutional review process when I become president. And when we do that, we will put it to the Ghanaian people whether we should retain the 15, whether we should reduce it, or whether we should increase it. And so I don't...
Eti, Papa yo, Papa ya wono oba bibia mesesan me ba me say enso oba yi judges no pake wo mo. O pake wo mo. Eti eye hatred na wonu mo no. Papa yi wo time de ma a certain group of people. Or time e de mani pa foforo. Eno da bia o pese o pretende. Eye koka o se de yi. Enkoda ne bia kasa wo ho. Wo mo se Mahama, jade o chekere no na wo hunu Ghana fo mpacho muntie enkoda yi.
Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Opo mo amope wasema me pe wasem pa me. If my videos a defend you bebree me pe wasem. Na mom na nse wonsam kae bi wo honoma me tena se dwen asabi. Eya na menti ase. Ya na menti ase because akwakoye me say o we ni aba wunya aba wie ye no. E na wo ya behunu se omo ayo omo wo TikTok. Omo social media, omo bloggers, omo from home bloggers, omo nko media school bia no. Omo ha adwen. Akwakoya me say wo we na aba ni we na wo hu sa no ma we. Na me bisa Mr. President. First na wo opposition na wo TikTokers ni bi mu. Etimi bash the incumbent party na or tiaba mu no. Omo na omo wa ba mu no. Na wo TikTokers. Wo Facebookers no na wo YouTubers no. E bash amanfo Eddie claims that to man for without any reason just because of say na more power no. What they want boni bia was ankofo no. Uhun fasodi ana wo TikTokers ho. Uhun fasodi ana wo YouTubers ho. Uhun fasodi ana wo bloggers ho. Na wo wi ni abawie ya unya to media. Wo hunu say sankofo no etimi boman. Sankofo no hu hia. There must be some laws and rules. Mudi be control sankofo no. E na ya kwakoye me say what the fear and panic to sanko for no so. Mr. President, the truth is, and then none of any opportunity about parliament anywhere bedding come up. You will be one man. Yeah, I dare my access to paying for more Ghana ha social media. And take Obama said, Modi threaten to YouTubers, TikTok at for so there. It means some person ya kasabua I say it means some person mum pass ya be open e be kan ya high atra o man paying for adentina mu boy hu e wo man we mu wo opposition enyankofo bi ma mo di social media e promote social media enkofo bi e omo platform e promote kansam e defend we ye Mr. President e ye den e na wo opposition wo hu sasa enkofo no ya suni mfaso TikTokers bloggers suni mfaso na ya threat to the country na mo wo ni abawie ya ba shew ebi wo ha ya na wo nya adwen a ene de ya nipa bone for Mr. President, please come again. I need explanations. I want explanations. I don't want to mention names. Now your bloggers be omo ya TikTokers omo come semfi e social media and the protect you and the promote and they who boni bia also Mr. President who boni bia also na mom we na bawie no. You don't want people to bash you, you don't want people to criticize you and what too many as social media for so Mr. President, this is my little knowledge or this is my little opinion. Minim na sanse Ghana pay for na mom asem we tire ma dwen. God bless Ghana.
Okay, enti enkurana kasa ene TikTok anu ayese omo se ni ombekunye nyina na de enti a se yakasa obi ka asam to obi no oni adanse a Mahama ne dikan boli idi ami minjira obi enen sam wo he Mahama ko Eastern region okoye no o se yan achemfo mo se de yi mo se maka de achema afento mo nti ase still ekura mo nkrofo na wie o manager pade ho repeatedly se mumu san se Mahama adanse e kire se achemfo awie o manager pade ewei adanse e kire se achemfo awie o manager ewei de enti akufo na anya ohwe ne se eye freedom of speech enya asem bia na yesoso eti today so obi ka asem to Mahama so a eti die me ba cho muntie wo se wo adanse wo ba ba mu mo hwe de Mahama ko kan e kire wo se on fa ho me ba cho yintia ha
to hold this government accountable for the hardship, the crisis that they subjected Ghana to for the state capture that they have implemented in Ghana over the last 8 years. Buying every state property, buying all the government lands, amassing wealth to themselves. Recently there was an issue about a document called Ejapadia. They said it's fabricated. But even if it's fabricated, the implementation is not fabricated. Because everything that is written in that document has been implemented. So if really somebody sat and fabricated that document, then the person can really read the minds of people. Because how they could have written that document and read the minds of Nana Akufo-Addo and his family, that this is what they were going to do, that person is a proper creative writer. Because everything in that document has been implemented. And so the implementation cannot be fabricated. So they must be held accountable. And that is why Nana Addo says he will not hand over to John Dramani Mahama. Because he knows that when I come, I'll hold he and his family and his government accountable for what they have done.
Okay, it's a busia for Muntio. Today, Samimi chat to Mahama so NTDA. And Mahama to Oyobio in answer for no. We chat to no so na midina 20 or no papa pen today. Na bayaba. On to me for Akufo the busia phone call enko court. Tiedamikano. We end this in Judge Minusu and Yansa. Bisa Mahama say, oh, opposition say na akaye. Wo se wo ba, wo de Akufo-Addo nkrofo nyina ba dey, ebe court, ni agye sika no. Bajo, won so wakoje Akufo-Addo ka akra, ni ka wote wakoje. Such a useless political figure. Incompetent. Useless political thinking. All in the name of say you want to secure power. So power is in your hands. Adena, unfa Akufo-Addo nko court. Na unje enemo ni na busuafo. But just say on say o kan bibia no de Akufo-Addo abusuafo. Akufo-Addo abusuafo, achemfo, achem sakawa so ho. And so wo de ma akani bi mfa esremfo embata ku ayun. Wo de obo wo de sekanipa ni wotumi a ka bo hu asom be ka kire no. And this is a tribal this. A tribal that. But your statement oye enya tribal. Akufo-Addo and your family. Akufo-Addo family bear. And this is NDC. And we are going to learn from them. Boli Idi Amin, we are learning from you. Your teacher, Tiasiasa. Unas for years. A year strategy. Unas for years. No. Yani one. Adia uchre ni yebe implemented. Sadi osi chira si yetutu nipa din. Sadi yesi di abusuya bi atem. Boli yebe di watem sabi. Yano be kono pepe. Hey. Yes, you be jaw. David. The next 4 years in the year. Chamai. Wallahi. Ebe Jonesem. Kai.
Sebe shemu ha de ba ko pe entina ye ba aye ono ye former vice ye former chairman. Any hello. Ayezu. Ye jira mu ha me mamu nyina yiko se aya ye jira ha ye twa ye jira ha ayezu ase choboy ana ye jira ha no mu a president former vice president former president John Dramani Mahama ntine yo hanum Ezu. President.
Okay. Eti, Mr. President. Hey. And somebody will be catching the Eti, school na yeko ye nyanwie kura o. Debi. Ye nyanwie school no. Mr. President. School di ye nyanwie kura nyabotre. Unisema President Mahama ene timi eyisu Akufo-Addo age enyina wanyini edu ridicule no Mahama ye be ridicule no yere tie de yaka no. The boys are going to replicate your nonsense so de be ya etina bi wu na ukoba was medi nkwase ase me bra na opposition hwe otimi de Akufo-Addo age say unim say Akufo-Addo anyini cheme Akufo-Addo be wu agame yentie Mahama na school ne ko yenyanwie.
You have all those people walking around who call themselves presidential staffers and special assistants, thousands of them all over the place, writing stupid things on social media. You have all those people walking around who call themselves presidential staffers and special assistants, thousands of them all over the place, writing stupid things on social media.
Eti chama de am say ano no to say no watwa bi pa ho. Odi say chama no watwa bi ana ne voice na sasa. Wa odi say ano watwa watwa bi. I was any mu ye stupid mu nyina mu ye stupid. Was again but to say watwa bi sa de ara ene wallahi wo say yi ma monko a. Eti senior man etimi de obi sabiam Akufo-Addo a wono wo yenim se wanyini. Odi ye campaign. And Sabrina, Nene Niaje, no can't ni yesua, ni yenwie. So, Sabrina no say, Akufo-Addo anyini, and obewu ajaway, and now, me catch me obewu ajameno, I, ne yokoskuni yenwie. It Mr. President, I, edruha, he, Sadia uye no, san ebeye. Sadia nsuoni ye no, san ebeye. Enya dia ubeka fa nwadi se wo ubeko, dabi. School na ye coin no dia wo kire ye ba ye de nyina ba bebrew ye bobbo no baako ne ye de ma baako ne ye de ma ye package ye be yin baako ne ye de ma because edua bobbo ne awudi aye no eso ba e na wo twai men pretende enya wo sesa bi Mahama wo ye nipa che obi a ekwan a wo fa so no sa kwan no a ye be fa so sa kwanwa ne yebefa so edia respond kama obia ne obedidi watem eyade a wudua ye no enoa ne ye twa ne kakra de akyerew na de ukasa Akufo-Addo no moja ni mo eya na musa Akufo-Addo emoja ni mu on de onye nipa ye mamon keka ma dwenkyira Akufo-Addo na efa ahodi dabi eti abusu share page no na ye nto aso eti Mahama wode na busuafo no baby adu no sese de oni omum petam bi fam ho omum ye omum yempa because sese no afa na ye ba behwehwe bibia bi ensem a ya bobo of so go nyina ye behwehwe ye mama Mahama mfa no ho ni Mahama enya de obefa no ho dida seye ne se obehunu na Ghana fo what the police a ene wa wija ene nipa bi ba risk wo mo life e de ama nipa bi Mahama fi say obehunu na Ghana fo na wono wafa ne ho adidi a woboa now yento aso video ye na mehwehwe sawunim ukọ asem a etimi creating tokwa a ye national peace a etimi di oyede eba omam eye omam mu ntokwa eti say Mahama say violence eba omam ni mu a eye sansem we eti mepacho NDC ni guy say Mahama appointee ya yefra no Adam Bona woye dey dia na asie ono wodi tuo ekoboko ekoton emanipa de ku omo ho wei enese Mahama ka ho asem akwa no wonche no pacho yentie sa asem we na mehwe sa asem we
yes appointment na Mahama aye no opeso obo man no Adam Bona na onenam na oso oye doctor no okọ school no okọ no wen PhD no nya no wen this is a manner you're born free UK for criminality. I will dive into it. Me say me time niswa. Ye musa question say. Edin no kwa ye wa secondary school. Six from Abreso in the 80s. Then no kwa ye. Ne papa na ne ye posini. Posini ba ye security expert. Oko security school wa hin. Yeah, what security aspect title. Yeah, media forces so much beautiful. Na matimi afrada mbo na betre radio so TV so. Me list of crampo asebi crampo. Me hu soldier kakra. Me yem from security aspect. Obi a onu kura uri tuo to wo kura won timi nkyere tuo ne bare na won timi nkyere atuo se ne etutu tuo ne yesese tuo onim ye. Yes, what security aspect. Obi a onu wo kan hu no supply tuo kom woko. What is that small arms and way amano? He said you have legitimized his talking trade. Dampare akwala. The pain in my heart, ne say, me call Botiano, nipa 15 or me that John Mahama be a busheni countia. Why is Dampare still at post? Dampare, why is Dampare still at post? Now you under John Mahama, John Mahama. Hey, look, me rate me John Mahama onim nyame obo no. Me yes John Mahama is entertaining criminals in his government. Criminals. Adam Bonanya appointment. John Mahama abemu. And then Akufo-Addo here. It's better to go back to Akufo-Addo. Adam Bona. No, that is what you like. To one pair Akufo-Addo. Any other Bona will tell Akufo-Addo. No, why are you appointing people like Adam Bona in your government? It takes only a criminal to do that.
Okay. Where you end this in the communicator? It takes a criminal to appoint a criminal. If say Gonja Mafia, Boli Idi Amin, so if you say, or Nyansa say, your friend be hate speech, violence against the state, what way your friend Listo will say, what appointing a criminal? Now it takes a criminal to appoint a criminal. So in other sense, John Mahama Idi Amin were a criminal. So said by Listowell. Today, say ye pass some pure woman more. Gawe Sasaki channel. O friend no bet say Adam Bonano. A him for no create one deco. Now ye a useless president. Such incompetent leadership. Now or try to scare the people not to speak their mind. Where you end this in you? Okobokwa, you spend this sikan educator for military. Okobokwa, we spend too much money. And yenyo obi akachire say, concrete evidence, evidencia say, your appointment, Adam Bona, wo yo kromuni, wo yo bolini, and the kretu edekoboko. It is house mbi enkoboko nyina, e yendi sini na ye. Mr. President, Mr. President, Odwanfunu, dead goat, Mr. President, did you hear? Ote, and I will scam Kodaun. Obia Smasabe president. Obia Fráudsters president. Aden uncle Kochi Aquano. Uncle Enkochi Adam Bonase. What did you cost him? Na yes, ye one year the Sican as Aqua and Tokwa. Where the uncle was among useless president. Such a useless administration. Nonsense. Now to be chat to Akufo-Addo so say. On in the Busia, Akyem mafia, they will be held accountable. Today, you are in government. I don't know who court. Say Mia, come to Moko court, who will be chat to us Day. Akufo-Addo was the president, and I will chat to so. And I will say, we are state capture. Today, and this in here where Jimmy and Winnie say, Monkancha Domama say, on for Akufo-Addo and court, and in a Busia for now one year at the Akufo-Addo we are near. Cause your politics be anamo ye. Adiamonya enkofo wo Jimmy na DNDC party na chintino. Yenya Idi Amin nana kan kabi. E ma ne ka kire ye say Akufo-Addo busuafo awie o man na jopade. Today, all the black voter, when are you president, you are responsible. Every contract about him. Ye de ama unu Ibrahim Mahama. Waka ho asem. Ana wo fi say we 10 year we nipa cha santini wo. Ana wo ye 10 no, we nipa 10 achimini no. Nonsense. School now the no. We are now replicating after the remedials. Ye exams. Ye nyanwe school. San kwase school na Mahama de Ghana no. Ye nyanwe school. And the kay last blood ye beto form ekosisa Mahama. Ye be kana gu form. We will bury John Mahama. Ye be sie no said ye be ya. E da bi no obehunu say hey atamidie say kunipa. Sa atamidie kunipa. Hey, any anodding, any idea of the Akufo-Addo were strong. Hey, and Kodani bedi watem Sarkozy say, at atom did no a book home, now for ye do Akosha say. Now, I feel what's your answer. Next time, Mubaya politics with decency. Politicians, ye Kenyans are something on Muntie. Say, politics about ideas. Chirawadri, and you be Miami, Obi Papa, Obi Adez, Obi Yanyasan your politics. But John Mahama or sponsor or support such nonsense in our political environment. And you shall say the dimping for them, or in the name of what? A activist. You see, you freedom fighters. na ye wo de ye nya dom ahene e na obo maba so. And today you are here, you are scared. Jack, school now, me see, Mahama school di Ghana for ye nyanwe you. Afe na school no, ehia for mana. How di ko school no. Ko wo ye hia ni ba. O papa mu nyina mu ye hia for, e na mu nya kwa me nkroma bem. E na unye sikani, obi anu anu oba no ye sikani. Ehia for no an be politics. Eti ehia for man ye ko school ho no. We are going to demonstrate adie ba ko akwa mo kire ye. Next time politician be sua nyansa. Ade na mpanifo bi gu country o ma jimi krasa no. Mpanifo bi o country ma jimi pa. Jimi so mo people o mo petumi a jimi sam sa no mo ye. Mo wia no betu nkodafo ye be retie. Ye ntie da. Ye ntie. Sometimes time say we will track your DNT. Wo track wan. Bibi chechewo. Yan kokko to omra. Na Ghana for ni bi adwala. Wo so Mahama wonye day. Wo so wonye day.
Me say what say on mine no. I say on mine no. I say on mine no. To kufo. Mama I say on mine no. I say on mine no. I say on mine no. To
Eti monkanche mama lodi ni kuru na akoka beka no. John Mahama, Boli Idi Amin, wakoka beka no. Because or you part of a Mahama family. Said your Mahama to me target Akufo the family no. We will target Mahama family. None next time. So when they say abani and dia on for Ghana. Yes, you better a short be you be throw short in every diaba. Such nonsense. Eti mama lodi ye poor somebody was saying dia ukuna ko kan beka. She said dia ukunu wakoka beka. Because and evidence based videos upon videos and niema Mahama kagu Akufo ado so no say ni nyina nya no kore eti yeso ye be ka de nya no kore gu no so opa omo ya sanuam because all kind be edigi to me enti ye ko school afa ne yawie kwasiala say ya akwa o ye de amamu ama na wuntimi mu o man no a ni say obetrete Ghana for using the state apparatus to scare the people na ye nya police phone kwasiafo bi so edi akire as one co pension da. Such useless police officers be idiot in the police administration. A system I say police it with service with integrity. And that day I done service with kwasiasem. And I politicians manipulate woman. Rubbish. Obiasman say be o to be catch the Akufo na busia for say the Akyems mafias. Now ya tu dia wadwa on. Now, yan to aso na afenyomakes edi nkomo we bi afa asem no. Wo court wo. Ebro mo remandi abro nye no odi nkomo bi. Yentie afenyomakes asem odi ono so kafa ho.
Gentlemen of the press. Yesterday when a UK Minister of State visited Parliament, in my interactions, I had this to say, that the time has come for political leaders to end the I do you do me, or you do me, I do you. Democracy cannot be sustained, protected, and advanced through such actions. Ghana must make progress. Since 1992, when we started this democracy, we've gone through challenges. I think that under this reset dispensation, we'll see something different. But this situation of abusing human rights under the guise of promote ensuring law and order isn't that here nor there. If you look at the charges, these are all misdemeanor. These are charges that are not serious offenses. If you say somebody is publishing fake news with the intent to cause fear and panic, it's a mere misdemeanor. Then you again say that his conduct is offensive conduct and it breaches the peace. These are not serious matters. And I mean, this shouldn't lead to somebody being put in Black Maria. On the contrary, a national officer of the NDC threatened my life, threatened the national organizers' life, threatened the chief whip and other senior members of the party threat of death openly. We petition. Unfortunately, because there's a different Ghana for MPP and there's a different Ghana for the NDC, the IGP has not even arrested the said officer. A communication officer of the NDC in Akyems constituency also repeated this said threat, but he has not been arrested, and that is what we see.
Okay, enti the political class no omo kwan omo fa so be come asem, but ye ya Mahama de ko school ni de said the oye no said the nsuo ye no saa na awia so be ye eti afanyama ke se de mu ye emma ye democracy ni nyini em ye nkwasiafo de bia ase ye dane agimifo politics all because of John Mahama ene na busuafo nti because wono ye Idi Amin nana kan kabi wono de wo ye nana kan kabi Idi Amin wo ye boli Idi Amin gonja mafia to de emoja wonu mu echen ye ya yaka na wuduadua ba bone a ubetwa enya no nko a Masaudu enano Azorka threaten no ene ansem bebre de sa IGP no wontimi nya hwe yentie Masaudu yentie no.
I'm telling you today, if IGP can arrest Aburinye living Azorka, then he lost his sense. If IGP can arrest Aburinye because he has insult, and the president of the land, John Mahama, has insulted the whole Akyems, that they are Sakawa, they are Akyems mafia, and the IGP could not invite him, then he has a what? He has lost his sense. I am telling the IGP that he lost his sense. So unless the IGP come out and demonstrate competency, so that we know that he's working for Ghanaians but not working for the NDC. I'm telling you today, if IGP can arrest Aburinye living Azorka, then he lost his sense. If IGP can arrest Aburinye because he has insult, and the president of the land, John Mahama, has insulted the whole Akyems, that they are Sakawa, they are Akyems mafia, and the IGP could not invite him, then he has a what? He has lost his sense. I am telling the IGP that he lost his sense. So unless the IGP come out and demonstrate competency, so that we know that he's working for Ghanaians but not working for the NDC.
Right, enti political class no omo din komo na ukọ street ni so a Ghana for ni bi so say omo suspect say it seems like John Mahama pese chaos esi wo man nim na wo declare state of emergency say be ya obey president for all. Ghana for ni bi komo omo din no. I mean, they are Ghanaians, they are right to express their concerns based on the evidence and as the event happen. I mean, what do you know what say? If you say almost some Mahama pese chaos bi si wo man nim now what declare state of emergency. Now what now or minus so say what the year resetting. I'm for say or moon say was adrian. Because now say as a your mental pressure now was in cast me could be. But events in it resetting no or masha or who baby crowd or reset ya no. Now I'm for say said no taco Burkina no yena Burkina ne Niger ni Mali for you know. Obenya ebi so say or per se or mambe pasabas or yebiba no declare state of emergency. No suspend constitution was say yes share mine no e bi se sa no ho no but also adwene ye say yenhwe so betimi ayesadia we are here because enema ho ye nyina no ye nema e best pack a serious political right e was system no adia John Mahama ye no most of them e best pack on some people for say they are preparing said they will hit on the street. Oh, nobody knows the betimi a few more ba very dangerous now. Yanku yenim say if say John Mahama so no ne moja wo no mu a obia so moja wo no mu na asemu a me de to aso a ye quite interesting and say me pa cho mo kai sa me ma we mo kai wo mo we mo kwa gwantana mo be fo we mo 2012 mo kai the same John Dramani Mahama aka Gonja Mafia Boli Ninja Boli Idi Amin okofa san krofo we free United States e de ba Ghana up to today the enim sika woje na me no kase sesi asa repeat bio oba power no ano wasa receive 14 Nigerians 1 Gambian na Ghana fo bu afupa se na gonja mafia yi adai woye hwan okay yenhwe America say omo deport nipa say deportees near 14 emu 13 Nigerians and ba akope every Gambia sankro ni nyina wo embassy wo high commissions America eye day na Ghana government mom ne koji Nigeria for 13 ba Ghana 1 Gambian I mean obias na ye president adai bibi ya no ana meba enipa no America so omo deport wo no ye wo American High Commission America wo embassy Nigeria wo embassy na America Gambia wo ne embassy America eye den na Ghana president ene kokoji 13 Nigerians 1 Gambian ba Ghana asem no obi awiase nyina obi discuss say no way there might be a fishy business in this situation. Na me tracking Nigeria for no say sir John Mahama almost John Mahama cost snitch Nigeria for actual America because it doesn't make sense say Argentina omun shepo sa ankrofo no Nigeria na omde ba Ghana na Nigeria for na dwalai pa say no way adia John Mahama no either say wa cost snitch the government of Nigeria to the American government was snitch woman because it doesn't make sense. Say, you want Nigerian embassy America. Now wo Ghana and now kokoji Nigeria for now do mapa. Now we are mumientie bosu kenai. And bajo mumientie asemo kafa asem we hu. Ebeje wonsem mo de muntie se papa we yaka say politically onim nyansa wa amamum. Enye nimpa ne say ba politics mo onim nyansa. Onim nyansa wa politics muntie asem.
About Nigeria must go yesterday.
Because all our fellow West Africans don't need a visa to come to our country. So if they decided to travel from US to Accra, they don't need a visa anyway. So if you're bringing our colleague West Africans back, I mean, that's okay. And so I think that agreement has been activated, and a first batch of 14 nationals came. Several of them were our Nigerian brothers. They opted to go back home, and so we put them on buses, to be able to go back home. One of them was a Gambian who is not as easy. You have to get him an air ticket to be able to facilitate his travel. So what we've done is contacted their embassy to let them know of his presence so that they can facilitate his return to Gambia. And so that's the issue with regards to deportations and arrival. Need a visa to come to our country. So if they decided to travel from US to Accra, they don't need a visa anyway. So if you're bringing our colleague West Africans back, I mean, that's okay. And so I think that agreement has been activated, and a first batch of 14 nationals came. Several of them were our Nigerian brothers. They opted to go back home, and so we put them on buses, to be able to go back home. One of them was a Gambian who is not as easy. You have to get him an air ticket to be able to facilitate his travel. So what we've done is contacted their embassy to let them know of his presence so that they can facilitate his return to Gambia. And so that's the issue with regards to deportations and arrivals. West Africa has the protocol of free movement. And so any West African is free to come to Ghana and be able to stay for 90 days. And so if they decide to bring them, I mean, we don't have a problem accepting them. Then...
Okay. Hey, Jack, my president will party. Hey, what a work leader. Hey, but what do you work on? As some explanation doesn't make sense. West Africa, we have so many countries. Edian Akwaji India, Okwaji West Africa, one West African country. Who is this guy? The my way work. Kai, well, you're very weak. John Mahama, a weak leader, very weak. A dear partner, do Bennett, dear account, or Kwaji Sadio no. A dear account. You should come out. Tell us. West Africa whole Nigeria no West Africa. Other one kwaje citizens. Other one kwaje wo. Hey man we pa de. I'm ashamed say man we president o. Enye etai. Say yeah West Africa we have free movement. Now kwa we kura asa gonja mafia we no. I mean me say politically onye nyansafo. This man onye nyansafo politics him ebia ne fie de ne daily life onye nyansa but in politics oye immature. Mahama nim nyansa politics him. Because West Africa no enye nkwa na ya West African state. Eye there na akwa na akwaje say me emra ni kuro mu ho. Now wo de hwe o ono age o mo afa no se de me do megu baas mu e de o makọ Nigeria. E ba akọ Gambia ye be pete kiti ama no. Ukrom enipa dan refugees. Me no ka say refugees o omo Cote d'Ivoire. Adwane ekọ untimi nko secure omo. Who is this guy? John Mahama. Who is shameful to our democracy. Boli Idi Amin. Ese ni Idi Amin di amano no. Onti aso fa me court. Me through court wa. Me ameka judge me fa lawyer kra. Se me sua free ne ho. Oye me teacher ni. Se ni Idi Amin me di amano ni picture na me di aba no. Boli Idi Amin. Etunim. Maka say John Mahama ya ade bi na mo Ghana for brani maso. Will try to pinch other countries to come to Ghana, not trouble biapa. Unim say GIPC law no a chere say will be a foreigner. Adwuma we wuntimi nye, ubetimi aye we, uba kuro no ma 90 days. Opa so otene ma je say what fall within Ghana law no. Mahama say or on the because so ashada ka say oh free movement of the people, but on can't say you have a limit of the free movement of 90 days. Enti obi di sika ba ese ye biem ye change law to Mahama's adwene no or be change law no said ye be ya e be suit Nigeria for no. Hey Jack me see afi ho Mahama be tete mo bruta or be tete mo ma see e ka kire mo eti na say Nigeria for no ekuta audacity because obi no ma di nkomo secret bo video be mo watie say Mahama ka kire Nigeria for no say sa GRPC law na ye say omo ye foreigners eto omo timi nya retail no obe ye free ho o ye free ho eti Nigeria for no ekuta boss obi say on say e nkomo omo di nkomo back door eti uta Nigeria for no kan we are all Africans we are all this obe sa law no obe say no me ba be kire wade now sa wo hwe sa deportees ya nwanwa say me no ka say ebe den say omdi data be bro say sa ankrofo ye de omo ko Nigeria ebe ye dene ebi nsida eti they are coming deportees no edo ma betra Ghana obi nka say ka omo ntimi ntra Ghana o but obi ntiase say Nigeria big country like Nigeria na Mahama na ekoti nipa 14 omo gu Ghana say yes e wase what edan vedru ye be kire mu now afedi entia Nigeria for no say wo no mo kono ntokwa ne ye kono Mahama ena me kan pain Nigeria for ntokwa no se ne mo pa munya Nigeria na mo ne nditi for mfam ani woni me dentia hwe video we wa ho say Mahama no aka kire Ghana for no say GIPC law no was say wasesa no say anipa bebre ni ankoso enra me ko Nigeria for no mo be fa video we e dia ko mu krom ho ena mo bo say nowadays come and see we told you your president will never support you. The president is on our side. And no me ko hu say omo bo video na me ko hwehwe ye na say press conference omo ye no media for no ko anhwe asem we yo Nigeria for na timi abefa asem akọ Nigeria and na omani age we told you the president cannot come into your side. The president is our side because the president knows that ECOWAS money we use Nigeria money to fund ECOWAS and the president believe ECOWAS more than Ghanaians. Hey nam ko tie nam so wow nam so ma me ko pass am kra Mahama tie me ba jo mu nyina mu ntie free na ekọ no and mo amani abre Nigeria for nkom Nigeria for nko no enko ba bia because unless I just Mahama wahu anase wa free akunya no so hwade
scheme. We have the African Continental Free Trade Area and be able to stay for 90 days. And so if they decide to bring them, I mean, we don't have a problem accepting them. Then with regards to the GIPC Act, you know, when we are living in a new environment, we have the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, we have the African Continental Free Trade Area, that wants us to open our markets to each other. And so the former protective regime is changing. And so we need to review the GIPC Act to be able to take cognizance of that. And aside from that, there's limited foreign direct investment in the whole world. And so you need to place yourself in a position where you're able to attract as much foreign investment as possible. So when you put a barrier of $1 million, there are people who, with $500,000, can open a manufacturing establishment. But because you say he must show $1 million of transferred capital into the country, then you shut out that investor. And that's why, as part of the GIPC review, we're removing the minimum requirement so that anybody who wants to come and set up a business in Ghana to provide employment for our people is welcome to come. But that is different from the issue of the markets. And so there's advocacy that we should review that issue with markets. The current law restricts retail sector to only Ghanaians. And there are people who argue that it's anti-competition and so many other things. But of course, in most countries, you want to reserve a certain portion of the economy for your people. And so Parliament is going to look at it, and eventually whatever law they pass is what we have to live with.
Okay. Eti abuzafo, as I said here, sir, Nigeria for asem attending to different twists. Asem na dane. Say ye bring nyina no, say ye Mahama. Me pesa no bia antie Nigeria for issue no, Jack. Send this to power. Say nye benya nipa dodo amoma sori ti aban ne dia forget it. Mon forget it. Onim. Me say sa video we me de beto. Now onim say edru Nigeria for that pick sa video no. On say Mahama e kasa no. Onwini kwa chire nti wo ti asmo kan. Obi person de $500,000 eba but Nigeria for eba why no $500,000. Sa ehia for Nigeria for eba Ghana no. Why no $500,000? All of them coming and they come with a drink here. No ton bibi kakaka no why but don't say $500,000. What here? Eya adwuma hye in order for them to come in so that election time all of them will vote for NDC. All of them are going to vote for NDC. Politics. None of Nigerians and ever Ghana okuta $100,000. None of them. Omunyina nko ye enom they are all coming. Go Ghana. Oton bibia yeto. Bibia oton bibia yeto. None of them and the yesikani wo Nigeria. And on okuta $500,000. Now, a pay thing. Na ni nyina ye there ya. How they can keep NDC in power for so long? What the MPP for Montrasina, Bibia Monfana Norma. Me say, John Mahama intentions to keep NDC in power and to collapse MPP no, it's at work. They are planning. They are working towards it. Eti Parliament and on microphone at all. The Obeka be on Beka ye. GIPC law or Kosasano or Sunday year Nigeria Nino or Afi one say. Mahama person trick once walk say Ghana ewe yanda ECOWAS treaty also one case treaty in the actual treaty in babia no actually say ukrom loss no ECOWAS treaty over power no any babia afei also office work come profunti NDC for no one more Jimmy for no ntiase say you can say open marketer it doesn't tell you say you should abuse the rules and regulations in the market say ECOWAS say we should open our market. There, Seka be the near me bar was manfama. Just the borders, open the borders. Ma open fan the Kahumra in toast from Ghana. You open your market now. We have opened our market for in toast from Burkina, Kahuro from Niger. So in order to trick the people, somehow about tricking the panintino. Or say ECOWAS because I say ECOWAS free trade and whatever intino. I say ye change your GIPC law no. Yamma oho emeji bodwa no all because of the Nigeria frontier ya catch me say ekunwe we de tena brochire na no nkra na obi frɛ me say asɛm no mo amote abrochire no mo dan no a mo pesika dodo no omo de rent Nigeria fo eti wuti abrochire na say Nigeria fo asɛm mi kai bi ko a wo dan ye de rent Nigeria ni onya we de ebeboa ne say emfa wo dan mo Nigeria ni hai no. And for man, na me no ka say, womukuta the backing of the president. John Mahama baki womu enu nti na besi ne black very dark man say ye leaders no Nigeria for criminals and sponsor economy no na si ye nimu a ye Mahama inauguration no also womu nyina baaye ai also womu nkan howe enso Mahama tia ekeka nkwase asem kire ye say wono ewo de national security de say wo de be track de yi obi etimi gugan animu ase ko social media ko hwe video ni ko 1 million views video ni ko wiase ba bia say our economy is being sponsored by Fráudsters from Nigeria. Also, Mahama so onfa ho. O ya ndisi ni adwene kwa akiri. Obi Nigeria ni ka kire Ghana for say ye economy no ye fraud for Ghana encourage fraud. Na ye elections Nigeria Fráudsters and sponsor John Mahama. Also on kan we. Such a useless government. O to also we dia on. Obo afu say ye ka Mahama asem. O abodam. Eti misramo. Se say de Nigeria for no o mate asem de say John Mahama say sa mra no a Nigeria ni ba yesi ma ne nye business on ton bodua no Mahama say o ye free wo Nigeria for ani age o mani age pa na enra Nigeria for no say John Mahama wako senichi Nigerians adenti na wo na wo je Nigerian deportees pacho Nigeria for say John Mahama yes oboa wasenichi Ghana Nigeria ban e de a America yenti ase
from Korea will be sent to Denmark because Denmark is an European Union. Denmark is not going to take an Italian. Even though they are in a union, because the European Union themselves, they will defend their interests. First of all, they will not say because it's an European Union, bring it first to Denmark, then Denmark will send it back to Italy. It doesn't work like that. Because the African economic state is like, it's already in a quagmire. Those people are just businessmen for their interests. And that's what is going on here. What the United States is trying to do is to create a coalition, a kind of a chaos in that two states, Ghana and Nigeria. If you look at it geographically, these are the two major, ballers in the economical West African states. And they also have seaports that can easily carry heavy duty ammunition to do some certain things in that region. So if one of them does not play by the rule of this bigger power, then the other one who can play with rule will go with whatever they are having. And now once the citizens themselves start having this back and forth of disagreement, the government themselves will also partake in it and have this, dysfunctional agreement between themselves. So whatever is happening in Ghana now, the Nigerian government will not really have interest. But it will also be an avenue for people to penetrate there and take over whatever they want to do with the Sahel region. Because let us look at what is happening now in France. France is already in chaos. The European states are falling. Africa is already for a grab. So these people will do whatever they need to do. Somebody was talking about Zambia. They deported people to Zambia. While Nigeria was... Zambia is not in West Africa. It was not strategic enough, even though they were... Also look at what is happening in Cape Town, in South Africa. Why are all these things happening at the...
Okay. The opposite of Chile say, on TSC say, Ghana ne koje Nigeria citizens because for example no cite example say European Union a country be brave but say European country be koye na dia Netherlands and say me na me koje say nipa na ba me krum no way say nipa na be ko ni krum even though say there's a European Union so if you say ECOWAS den na Mahama ne koje Nigeria for don ba Ghana was Nigeria government is there the ompesa omo kira no to omo say omo dwene ho a ase Mahama akodi nkonkonsa bia kira America for Nigeria ho Sana Nigeria for ne count any omo serious say Adentina Mahama ne koji Nigeria for the Ghana was Nigerian government is there I say when say simple because it doesn't make sense unyon nkwa na part of ECOWAS or West Africa and Nigeria for ne say European Union is some country be abum but say bibi ko se ne ye penkrofo bi do mo kom kroma Germany so renka say me koji omo de aba me krom was enipa ne krom ho obeka omukrom for omukọ. So you was someone for you were a big challenge. I was John Mahama ho. Sana 2012 okofa Guantanamo Bay. Edwon Baye and they was okofa deportees every America. This is very sad on our time because we have a Gonja mafia. Because you were Boli Idi Amin. I was not there. Or see a friend Nana can Kabi. So opinion the opa ji we say. Ye do my amount just fix the country ani dia wonye fix the country wo se ande menye ene nsem hu ana John Mahama utwa atoro se ekufo na busuafo awi o manage pade etika we expecting you say ye hia sa sika no eno no bekam ye nti a wo se muni ebi negotiate otu wo sa oda so the NDC party we echi akohwifo party say such a useless party say the last resort and say ye nyusu police for musu nim nyansa some of these police for no so politics say on wadwen emfa nyimi Ghana for no na mo jimi wo de montra say ye nto aso patrol page ni mai na ye kokan NDC asem a obi fi say ye tawo mu ye nta NDC fo ye nta NDC fo kra ade a Mahama ye no a disgrace to this country airtie.
Breaking as Ghana agrees to take in people deported by Donald Trump. Now many across West Africa are furious, calling it a betrayal. Ghana's president, John Dramani Mahama, has announced that the country will accept West African nationals who are being deported from the United States. 14 people Nigerians and 1 Gambian already arrived under this new agreement. The US under Donald Trump is pushing a tough immigration policy, deporting people who don't have legal status. Ghana agreed because, as Mahama said, fellow West Africans don't need a visa to enter Ghana, but many people are speaking out. Human rights groups urge caution. They say this agreement could lead to abuse, unfair deportations, and questionable treatment of people sent to Ghana who were not Ghanaian to begin with. Critics ask, is this a good deal, or is Ghana being used as a dumping ground for foreign migrants? Some say this risks Ghana's reputation and could cause social tensions. Tonight, the country is divided. Some see this as helping regional unity, others see it as a dangerous precedent. Only time will show if this agreement...
Right, eti Ghana be yabeko so yanim begu ase. Enu gu ase ene be di ache di akọ e di aba. Baby Eddie, Mammy me phone la on. Na also chere wadwin. I had the reason so yedi nkomo bebre. Over to me a framing 0242 073 Dear Kosui, dear Mahama ye, oh, who say, yet asami and tanipa. Mahama, quite what person de Ghana first. We okay with that? On your okay, I'm into was it. My beer phone line on 0242 073 Oba yen titi and it will be 5 minutes. Abro so I'm a USC. Wadama. Hello.
Odise enemania jo uja waso so waso hu papa ye cheti fo nyina akọ fi
yenko 5 minutes maminti
ene uja no mania jo enyumna na wasi atupa se kum Mahama ye radie kum Mahama yen kum Mahama ye radie kum Mahama yen o say o maino kum Mahama yen kum Mahama ye radie kum Mahama yen kum Mahama ye radie kum Mahama yen o chinkrofoma kum Mahama ye o fui Mahama nyambe chianeka Mahama ono a odije watu jani na woni bibi
Ethiopia
ejanu watu ama filia mami hudi ya menka mponti nyame na ne bekum Mahama amayen. I'm telling you say on tina kunya we so nkwa wi he obe yare adada mama ne fa be pro because woni bibi nyansa friend ye friend nyansa woni bi nanim se ayi enkwan ade ache so a nanim anyinya hwe nipa nim jimi bi so as ye wuni to hwe ne kwase Mahama jimi se ayi What ko kwaje ye friend say alata for deportees gonja for ni nambusha ebi akwakopie chebi Ghana for ma brewo Cote d'Ivoire na em sense no waka ni nyina awie eti wunim nyame na ye samai Mahama ama nyame ne Ghana nsuo ne abosom na nanom nyina ehunu bi tibi na asofo so ko na no ye friend say I acquire what a person yadom acquire a was of your Kumasi adaqua often I know them will soon and the English before let me feel second So what you say? Now your bumper is a California nara epic united. I'm a woman to never pay. I'm a people who say I'm Panyampa Ghana and it does not belong to Kwasiapoe. Yen come on, yen unite, Shawunim. Message 2028 and Kwankosi 2028. We are Pununi. Now you shed your leader be a because I am for no paper and I actually. Yeah, we have to see each other, say, future any yen. Bebrena 60, 70, 80. I ain't no move. So what I say. And Yanni Ghana needs to I can for Yanni Nara will unite. It does not matter who they will bring to be the leader of NPP. With their cans, we have to unite and take Ghana and bring Ghana. Shebabia Nanado, Eddie Ghana Ninam. Na Ghana, exam, sir. And Kemsaki has scored 72. Na Kaka, Kredipe, Na Ghana, look at where the NDC is taking Ghana right now. With this useless leader, what will be the enemy? Na Anamakano, Mahama, obey Yaria, the Dema, Nefabe bro. Yamenko Bibi, I want to share. In fact, Yamisha Nija Woto, what to German Mafilu, papa.
Yeah, I'll say. Okay. Pacho, you now be number was comment section or your opinion or why with my finance with my friend WhatsApp call why number no comment section or why I face mask me hello
Nishi.
Yes sir.
I'm not to say.
Yes sir.
Yo Eddie Kai President Mahama deportees na Domba. I don't know. Say Nkofrana a primacy and former the voluntary came back and I said they were deported.
I said
that's the first question.
Deportees are come to negotiation with the government.
Deportees means they were forcibly evicted from the US.
Yeah, a Trump by force or force will be or enforce laws. Yeah.
Now, questions I'm missing with some Mahama in Gambia phony embassy US. Nigeria's phony US embassy. Mahama was talking about takeovers. Where is the headquarters of takeovers? And not Abuja, Nigeria. Now, I think you don't quite headquarters. Now, Mahama, were ye nipebi so were ye very, very wicked. Mahama, maybe will be a bribe. Oh. Woman a 10 cities clear Mahama or the ayed of SOA. Sadi Oye is very, very fishy. Now it's a betrayer. Because what person deportation can now me crime fiswa. Unfin Flamenco. Yahweh actually 90s. And if any in 70s, 80s, and the 2000, early 2000, one do quite obisa so idea. Or do call embassy, Ghana embassy, Ghana ambassador. And I said, can't tell him so Ghana ni pa. Also, where do you come from? Are you from Ghana? Or no? I want to catch a police once or so free Ghana. Yeah, do call. Don't the Musa. Don't do the Musa. You do to my best is my say jaw. Because one can't cry with no country. Certain echo was new. One can't cry with no country will accept even the consent so a Ghana ni and Nigerian. Also in the club nipa. But one through no ama. At times where do my count because I so cast you free crew at the map who jenga. Tiabusa was in free or the English my police for that was being free. Moment I became so free one. Catch police also free or the every man TC man in Fanny. Then they say